Eastern Kentucky football begins our show this week. Big win at Murray State on Saturday, off to Eastern Illinois this week. And place kicker Sam Hayworth is our guest. That was a cardiac moment when a 24-point lead shrank to 7. And Murray State had the ball, got it to the Colonel 3. Frank Sumter with the game-saving interception. You're on the sidelines. What did you see?
Yeah, my perspective was a little limited just because I was on the far side. I didn't want to get in the way of the substitutions, me and the other specialists. But I could see Frank go up for it. I didn't see him come down, but when the stadium went silent, I knew that we had pulled it out at that point.
Everybody but the Eastern sidelines.
That's right, exactly.
And the old announcer got pretty excited, too. You had only taken 3 attempts on field goals all year long, and you banged home 2 against Murray State. I don't want you practice, so you're not rusty, but game conditions are different. Any nerves when you went out there? You think about it a little bit, but you try to push it away and just focus on the kick. Each and every time the same one. They're all the same. That's what you try to tell yourself. And it really is a testament to our operation. The O-line and the snapper, Alex Shelton, the holder, Phil Richards. It'd be impossible without them. And they're, clinical. It's perfect every time. You've taken 59 PATs in your career as the mainline kicker, and you've hit them all. I don't want to jinx you, but that's got to be something of pride.
Yeah, it really is good to do that. It's a secure point, and it matters. And again, if it wasn't for the guys in the trenches taking the face shots and getting rolled up on, it wouldn't be possible.
I want to talk about things off the field. You are a 2-time OVC Medal of Honor winner. That means you have the highest GPA of any football player at any conference member in the OVC, and now you've been named a semifinalist for the Campbell Trophy, which is a great honor, under 200 people, best scholar athlete in the nation. We're going to find out who the few finalists are here in about a week. What's that honor mean to you?
At first, it was funny. I didn't even really know that I got nominated because they tagged me on Instagram, and I didn't have social media over the summer, and I found out later when I got it back that I had been nominated, and I didn't really know what it meant. And then until I looked into it, I'm just really thankful that God brought me up here to EKU and gave me these opportunities and the friends that I have and the support of my family. But really, the glory goes to the Lord for giving me the opportunity and the ability to do these things.
So you want to be a doctor. You're
hopefully,
pre-med now, applying for medical school. ER doctor?
I think so.
And you know what? I was thinking about this. That really applies. Pressure of a field goal kicker. Now you're pressure of being in an emergency room someday.
Yeah, it's funny how it connects. And even when I was back home, I lifeguarded on the beach a little bit. So high pressure, high quick decisions, judgment calls. And so it really does fit together from my work to football to hopefully a future career.
Growing up along the Atlantic Ocean, I know you're a fan of surfing, and your honors thesis here at EKU relates to that?
Yeah, so I had a professor, Dr. Maples, he does sociology at EKU, and so I was a part of the honors college, and as a thesis we had to do something, it was like a 30-page paper, and I thought, well, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to do something I love, and so I figured nothing better than surfing, and so I was curious how if you brought surfing into a community, what would be the positive impacts of that as far as economically and ecologically with the beach and everything, and financially speaking too with individual businesses. So it was really a good thesis, and I learned a lot, and it was a really good experience.
And this summer you were able to follow inside hospitals. Tell me about that situation, what you learned about your future profession.
So I was in Sandusky, Ohio for summer project with Campus Outreach. And I had the opportunity to do about a 2-week shadowing with some residents, some DO and MD residents at a family care center, the Firelands Regional Center. And really what I learned was that you get to be creative as a physician because you have to work around. Sometimes you know what to do, but they just can't afford it, or there's no insurance, or they just don't even show up to their appointment. So you have to figure out how to treat people. Even though you know the perfect treatment, you have to figure out ways to treat them. And sometimes unorthodox or out of the box
fashion, and I really enjoy that.
Well, Sam, you are, and I've told this to many student athletes we've had on here, the epitome of what a true student athlete should be and can be, and thanks for everything you've done. I know it's been great memory for you to be a colonel. We've still got some games to play as well, right?
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, Sam Hayworth is with the football team, the place kicker, does the kickoff work as well, and the Colonels will be going to the field again on Saturday. They'll take on the Panthers of Eastern Illinois. The game begins at 3 o'clock. We'll have radio coverage at 100.7 FM. You can find it streamed on the TuneIn app, also at EKUSports.com. You can find the link. Game also on ESPN+. When we come back, we'll shift our focus by looking back in EKU football history. Something that happened in Sam's home state, a national championship 40 years ago. And the man you will meet was a big part of that coaching staff under Roy Kidd.
At Eastern Kentucky University, we recognize greatness starts in the classroom, but it doesn't end there. You have to get hands-on, get real-world experience, and discover who you are meant to be. Be a crime fighter. Be a visionary. Be a colonel. See what you can be. Visit go.eku.edu/colonel.
Every day is a concept that few people can commit to. Every day requires a level of dedication that forces you to test your limits.
Every day I'll give back to the community because I draw strength from their support. Every day the sounds of your cheers will echo through my mind. Knowing that you have my back means I can always look forward.
Every day I'll be too tired to sweat and my bones will ache. Every day will provide me with the slight edge that I need to succeed. Champions are built every day.
The man you are about to meet coached for 38 years as an assistant at 2 schools. Here's what he did. He was part of 349 wins, 55 playoff games, 23 conference titles, 4 national championships, and 4 runners-up. He was a great defensive coordinator at EKU, Jack Ison. Jack, the one thing I've always heard from all the players that were played under you as a coach is how you touched their lives as a football player and beyond, and they still have loyalty to you and what you meant. Did you sense that as you coached them?
Well, not really. I really saw that in looking back as to the way I grew up and playing sports in high school and the impact that those people had on my life, and it was just overwhelming, as I look back.
You know, head coaches will say, I couldn't do it without my players and without my assistants. You only coached under 2 guys, and they were both great coaches, Roy Kidd at EKU, Bill Cronin at Georgetown College. And that was the kind of thing that you said impacted you as well.
Right. The leadership that I got from them was just immeasurable. And, to think that you could spend 38 years coaching and under only 2 head coaches, it's just amazing. And what they achieved over their time is unbelievable.
When you played back at EKU as a halfback in the late 50s, we didn't have weight training. Nobody was lifting weights. You learned about it, and you're pretty much the father of strength and conditioning at EKU. You brought it to EKU. Man, it's changed, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. And when I was player here, we had no strength program, and after going into my last year, there was a guy from Pennsylvania named Sal Marquez who was just a really big, strong, physical guy, and he had lifted weights in high school and so on, and then. I watched him work out over in the Weaver Health Building a time or 2, and then that summer I decided, going into my last year, I decided I would do that, and I got together with a couple other kids in the neighborhood there where I grew up, and we got some weights and did just a few basic exercises. We had no instruction, but we did a few exercises, and then when I reported for 2-a-day practices, the thing that really, really hit me was that I went through 2-a-day practices and didn't even get sore.
That's
you know,
crazy.
usually during two-a-day practices, at the end of two-a-days, you know, you're hobbling around and these muscles are sore all over. But I didn't even get sore, and I thought there got to be something to this.
You were the defensive coordinator when EKU beat Lehigh in the 1979 championship game. EKU went back up there to play a playoff game in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I remember one thing, you probably don't remember it. I had a Buckeye that I saved in my little treasure chest for years and years. You handed that to me the day before the football game, and it was a good luck charm. And I tell you, Jack, you've been a good luck charm to EKU, and it's well deserved that you're in the Hall of Fame.
Well, thank you very much.
Congratulations to Jack Ison, now a member of the EKU Athletics Hall of Fame.
The demand for food, energy, and commodities is growing. Be part of the solution with an agriculture degree from EKU.
Opportunities within the ag department are building our next generation of agriculturalists.
An ag degree can prepare you for careers in teaching, growing, engineering, veterinary medicine, and more. At EKU, you will get hands-on.
Eastern has some awesome agriculture facilities. They have the greenhouses and they have the farm, and they let their students go out and experience all that stuff.
And you'll be part of a campus community that feels like family.
Eastern has been my home away from home. It has given me so many opportunities, not only in my education, but also in the workplace.
Future-proof your career at EKU.
We talk women's golf now, and Ragnhildur Kristinsdottir is with us. She had a great Sunday round over in the University of Louisville Cardinal Invitational. Shot a 70. You were rolling that day. If I looked it up, your second best round as a collegiate, right?
Yes, that was a pretty good round. I hit many good shots, rolled a couple putts in, and that helped a little bit.
I've noticed your stroke average is going down, which is what you want from your freshman year to your second year to your third year. Do you feel like since you've arrived from your home in Iceland here to Richmond that your golf has gotten better?
Definitely. You can just see it in my sophomore year scores compared to my freshman year. It was a lot more solid, and now just played 2 events, so getting a lot better, yeah.
Yeah, this is a split season, so you play important tournaments in the fall, but the OVC championships and that carrot of out there trying to get to the NCAA doesn't happen until mid-April.
Exactly.
So what do you get out of the fall part of the season to be ready for the spring where it counts as far as where you advance in postseason?
In the fall, we see where we stand compared to other OVC teams. And in the spring and the off season, we try to improve what we need to improve, all to get better and excel in April when OVC comes around.
The golf in America, I was watching the Skins game in Japan, and it's a different kind of golf course. Growing up in Iceland, are the golf courses there different, or is golf?
In the end, golf is just golf, but the courses are a little bit different. They're more like link-style courses, but I think the main difference between here and back home is probably the weather. And you have to deal with the elements in every single round. Back home, the wind is a lot more aggressive than it is back here. So,
Interesting family. You were on the Icelandic national championship team 3 years for handball.
Yes.
Did you play handball?
Yes.
Your brother plays professional soccer in Greece now.
Yes.
So, did you ever play soccer too? Or?
I did. I played soccer for about 12 years.
So how'd you end up saying, okay, golf is the sport where I'll go get a college scholarship? I mean, how did you make that transition?
So I played soccer for 12 years, handball for about 14. So I saw that I did not have much of a future in soccer. So I stopped playing soccer and focused on handball and golf. Then I got injured in handball, and I figured out I miss golf more than I miss handball. So let's push handball a little bit more back.
So now you're a golfer at EKU. What have these 3 years so far at EKU meant to you? How do you think it's changed your life?
I've definitely gotten a lot more independent. My parents can see that when I go home. And yeah, I've grown so much just in person and as a golfer, and had so many more friendships than I could ever imagine.
Your finance major, I'm sure you delivered it, and that's the great thing about golf. You can keep playing it.
Exactly.
It doesn't end like a lot of football players. It's over, it's over. What do you think you want to do post-college?
Post-college, the dream is to play on the LPGA. So that's the plan for now, is to go to Q school, either on the LPGA or European Tour when I finish up my college career. And then if that works out, awesome, that's the dream. But if that, I have a finance major to fall back on.
Right. This year's team, what do you sense that's going to be the thing for you as far as a team in the OVCs? Where's your strength, and what do you need to improve to make sure you can win the OVC championship?
We saw that at the Betty Lou Invitational and at UK's tournament that we have a lot of potential. We just need to make sure that we finish out those rounds, those low rounds, and if we get a high round going, we just need to push ourselves a little bit and try to finish on a high note.
I'm the embarrassing American that speaks one language. I always like to ask all the international students, how many languages do you speak?
About 4.5.
4.5. What's the half?
Scandinavian.
Scandinavian?
Yeah.
You're working on that, right?
No, it's like I speak Icelandic, English, I speak German a little bit, and then I speak Scandinavian, which is like a mix of Danish, Norwegian, and Swedish. So that's like my 4.5.
I got you. I would be completely mixed up. Raga, thanks. Good luck the rest of this fall season.
Thank you.
All right, the golf does have another tournament coming up in just over a week. They'll be down in Spartanburg, South Carolina for a tournament hosted by Wofford University. And when we come back, we'll meet another student athlete who's now become a coach, a graduate assistant with the soccer team.
We are more than just athletes. We inspire scholars. We inspire leaders. We inspire champions. We inspire family. This is the Ohio Valley Conference.
Welcome back to the show. We talk EKU women's soccer now, and we're going to talk about both what's coming up for the team and a great honor for one of their graduate assistant coaches in Morgan Ferrara, who joins us. First of all, let's talk about the team, and then we'll get to your personal achievement. It has been a defensive battle the last two games, 0-0 through 110 minutes.
Right.
And so you go into this final game at SIU Edwardsville on Thursday with a lot on the line. What's the mentality of the team and what has to get done?
At this point, we're just trying to enjoy it as much as possible. You know, we need a win. We got to take care of business first. A couple other things have to fall where they may, but first things first, we got to get a win and we got to score some goals. I think this past weekend, we had a great defensive effort, 110 minutes in both games by Katie Schaefer leading our defense and Zoe Aguirre in goal. They did a great job holding down the fort, and now we're going to get some offense rolling and hopefully get a big win on the road at SIUE.
You were the Offensive Player of the Year in your last competitive year at Central Florida, down in your home state. And so you know about the offense, but it's a tough situation when that team is sitting back against you, isn't it?
Yeah, both teams we played this weekend kind of bunkered it in. For those who don't know soccer, they had a low line of confrontation, and it's tough to score against that. It's tough to break through. We had a lot of opportunities at Moorhead that we didn't put away, so we're creating the opportunities. Now it's about just finding the back of the net.
So your last year playing is in 2017. All of a sudden, you've grown up.
Yeah.
You're no longer a student athlete.
Right.
You're coaching, and
Right.
you've said that these young ladies have certainly given you a message about where you're headed in life.
Right. I mean, I love those players so much. They've seen me become a coach. When I first got here, I didn't know what I was doing. I was so in over my head, and they've watched me develop as a coach and made me love the game more than I ever have, and in a different way, you know. You feel more responsible when you're a coach than when you're a player, and I've got to see what really goes on behind the scenes in coaching, and I think the players have really just done it for me.
And great honor, one of 30 people to be selected for the U.S. Coaches 30 Under 30 program, 15 women, 15 men, and it's a mentoring and education program for a year. What's it going to mean to you, and what will you be doing during that time? How will it help you as a coach?
So they'll assign us a mentor. I'm really hoping it'll be a female. because I love women empowerment, but they'll assign us a mentor that we'll have for over a year. And we'll talk once or twice a month, and they'll kind of help you stay on track. It's a great networking as well. At the United Soccer Coaches Coaching Convention, with about 200,000 coaches are there. They'll bring us all on stage and introduce us, and it's a really high honor. And then there's podcasts that'll appear in, and they also pay for another coaching license within the year. So it's a huge honor, and it's going to be great for me going forward.
What's it meant to be with this EKU program in the last 2 years as you've made your transition from player to coach?
Right. I mean, Nick Flory, the previous head coach, when he brought me in, I was just a kid, kind of confused. You know, when you're straight out of college, you don't necessarily know what you want to do, and especially fresh off a professional career, I knew I kind of wanted to coach, but being here, loving the game, getting to know the players and the game even more than I did before has made me realize that helping young women grow on and off the field is really all I want to do.
Yeah, it has to put a big smile on your face. And I talked with Sam Eastis when she was on the show. She was at the World Cup final.
She was.
Just what those young ladies have done to set examples for other young girls coming up through the system.
Right. They're great girls. I mean, their academic standard, when we recruit, everyone in Bratsky loves our team because we have the highest GPA in the department, and they average a 3.78, like crazy good. And we actually had to put a limit on their studying before games because they were in their books for all day. So they're just really great kids on and off the field, and they hold themselves to a high standard.
Congratulations on your honor. Good luck to you, the staff, and the team down at Edwardsville.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Morgan Ferrara, she is with the EKU soccer team as they go to their final regular season game. Again, a Thursday night game, 8 o'clock Eastern time in Edwardsville, Illinois. And that does it for another edition of Inside EKU Sports. You can always like and follow EKU Athletics on all of the social media pages you see on your screen. And until next week, as always, go Big E.